Hey, everybody. Welcome. Boy, I'm so glad there's so many of you here already. That's terrific. I was going to check in to see if y'all had any questions about anything we had done yesterday. Let's see. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Boy, I'm so glad there's... So let's see. I got to get rid of this. Okay. All ready to learn some more today? We have some easy ones and one that we're going to have to connect the nodes with. Yes. That's right, Chow. How's the smoke out that way, Chow? Is it still really bad with the fires? Hi, Deanna. Hey, everybody. We got 3 more minutes. Oh, hey, Carmen. You're here early today. We have 28 people watching. We have 2 or 3 more minutes before. Oh, it's far from you. Okay. We have 2 or 3 minutes before it's time to start. So if you know somebody that might be interested in learning how to make SVGs, go ahead and invite them if you would. Using the share button down below or whatever. So, got 2 more minutes. I need a little timer. Let me know also in the comments, maybe put it all in caps, if there's a specific character you would like me to do tomorrow for our SVG. Ha. You had to kick him out of your craft room, huh, Carmen? That's funny. I just told all of mine, stay off the computers. I don't want to get bumped offline. Remember how that used to happen all the time? Oy, oy, oy. Okay, it's 3:59. The name of the paper that I used for sublimation. Now, like I said, I'm brand new at this, so I just picked one off the internet. I think I just went to Amazon, and it's, if you can see here, I'll get this. Hang on, stop the share. It's this. And it worked really well. Now, I've since heard people say you don't even have to use this paper. You can just use regular, not copy paper, somebody said, but all-purpose paper. And the lady I was watching said she uses all-purpose paper from Staples. I don't know what the difference is, all-purpose and copy. I think she said there was a coating on the copy paper, but not on all-purpose paper. But anyway, this is what I've used so far, and I've only done one thing. I'm waiting for my mugs to get here. And do you remember that? Here, let me show you guys. I'm going to work on this. Share this. All right. You remember this, you guys, that I made? I don't know about that text. I was just trying to figure out some text I could put down here on that page so as not to waste it. But remember how I made this pumpkin and I used that other iron-on stuff before I had the sublimation ink? So my sister wants me to make one of these. So I'm going to try this, and I bet this will be beautiful. Although it turned out really nicely on the other stuff that I used. The stuff that you don't have to have sublimation ink that's called Jet Pro SS. Of course, I put it on a white shirt or a little very light colored shirt. So let me look and see if there's any other questions. And then I have used cover stock, but usually A-sub paper. See, I don't even know what A-sub means, Tina. What does that mean? Something spooky for tomorrow. Okay. Oh, you love Pooh. I know, I love him. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what the cat, I see that Nightbot just put a link in there for Creative Fabrica, and I'm not sure if it's still on sale or what the price is now. But if you're interested, check it out, because that's where this pumpkin came from too. And I just think it's beautiful. Remember what I showed, how you can slice it in half and put like Nana or Grandma in here, and then put the names of your grandchildren in there as well. I forget who it was that said, I have too many grandchildren. I could no way put all their names in there. But anyway, yes. Hey, Bonnie, you're in the right place. All right. So let me go to a new share, and I'm going to, I think if I turn off my camera, it's not going to be in the way all the time there. Okay. So let's see. Here we go. All right. Because it is time to start. It's 4:02 actually, so I'm a few seconds late. All right. So we're going to go to the first one, and it's going to be Tiana. And let's see, I need to get rid of this text because we don't need it. Whoops, don't need any of that text. So whoopsie. Come on. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to do this right. Grab that, and now get this and delete it. Okay. And yay, that did get rid of that face of mine, because I wasn't sure. I told Tammy yesterday I don't like my face being in it all the time. All right. So this is what we got online, or this is what I got online. Okay. This one is not a very good image, but the reason why I got her right here is because I'm going to use the coloring from that. This is the sample I've already done, just practicing. And I'm going to show you the difference between these two images, just so that when you're looking at them, you'll understand that. So I'm going to scroll way in, and I want you to particularly look at the lines on both of these images. Can you see the difference? Look how bold and not jaggedy and not blurry this one is, as opposed to this one. This image is not as good as this one, obviously. So I just brought this one in because I'm going to use her to grab the colors from. Okay, so let's scroll back out. And now, probably not that far. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete. No, I'll keep her so I remember what I did. But this is the girl that I found. And actually, her lines are not that terrific, but they're pretty darn good. And since it's just a black and white coloring book image, it's going to be a lot easier. So that's what it's the best thing to go for if you're making SVGs. First, try looking at Google for coloring book pages, coloring book images, or black and white images. That's what works the best. So let's see. First thing I'm going to do, let me think. Okay, this one's going to be easy. This one over here is going to be more difficult to fill in the colors. Can you tell why? Who knows why this one might be a little bit more difficult to fill in the colors? Take a minute and look at these. You remember, I have to have a solid area to be able to drop paint in here. And look at this right here. Look at that gap right there. That is when I try to color this in after I trace it, the paint's just going to sneak right out of there, or I'm not going to be even able to put any in there. If there's an opening like that in any of your images, you're going to have to fix it. So let's start with the easy one first. So here she is. So naturally, the first thing we're going to do, yep, the lines are not closed. Perfect. Oh, you guys are on the ball. Yes, very good. You guys are excellent. Okay, stars for everybody. Anyway, so the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to trace this. And I guess I want to make it a little smaller just so I can have the whole thing in my image or in my screen. So I'm going to come over here to the trace tool on the right-hand side, open the trace panel, and I'll click on that to open the trace panel. Once it's open, I'm just going to say select the trace area. Then I'm going to come over here and just draw a box around the area I want to trace. So right now I'm going to look at this image. Let's scroll in and look and see. Is this a good trace? Look at that. Is that a good trace? Is that going to be a nice, easy, whoopsie, easy to fill in image? Look at her fingers. Let's see what else we can see that looks not so good. Look at her lips. Look at her eyes. Oh my gosh, you know, y'all have to look at the yellow lines because that's what we're checking to see if we're going to have a good trace. That's a horrible trace. So how do we remedy that? Well, that's easy. Usually you just come over here to the threshold on the right. Yep, that's right. It's a terrible trace, Yvette. All right, so we're going to up the threshold a little bit. And I can either slide it by using this slider here, or I can hit the up arrow. So I hit the up arrow, and while I'm clicking on that, I'm looking at the lines. Can you see how they're coming better and better? So I want to see if I can get her eyes to totally close up, because this section right in here, I want to be able to drop white paint in there, color it white for the white of her eye. So I'm going to keep going up until it looks like that closes. Whoops, I got off there. All right, that looks pretty good. It's kind of looking a little bit jaggedy, but I think it will be okay. So let's scroll back out, look all over. Her fingers look good now. Everything looks pretty good. I like to scroll way in and look at it all, then go back up again. Okay, that looks really good. Let's see if I could go down one dot and see what happens to her eyes. I'm gonna scroll in. Let's see if I go down one. Okay, see that when I went down two, actually, I have a hole in here again, right there. And I would have to play with the nodes to fix that. And I know you guys don't care for the nodes if you can avoid them. So we'll just go up. All right. So that looks pretty good. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll back out and I'm just going to say trace. All right. So it doesn't look like that did much, but we know it did something because you can kind of see the red lines that make up her shape. So I can move this piece off because we no longer need this. And the reason why we don't even need it or want it is because no matter how hard I try to pick on something, I can't click on it to color it. I can't, let's say I can't, let me show you how I can't. Let me go up to object and I can't release the compound path. Nothing happens. I can't really ungroup it because there's nothing grouped. So this is just not what we want right there. So I'm going to move it way over to the other side. Scroll back out now. All right. So since I already have her done once, I'll use this one for the colors that I want to use. Okay, let's scroll in again. All right. So she's looking pretty good. Now the first thing, oh, her eye looks a little bit iffy right there. Look at this. Whoa, wait a minute. Let me look at her eye right there. Oh. Let me look back at what she's supposed to look like. All right, so it's okay because on here, that whole little bit is black, and that's what's going to happen right here. So I think it's going to be just fine. So the first thing that I tell you that I like to do when I'm tracing and I'm making an SVG is I click on the outer, whoops, I got all those nodes, those little points when I clicked on it, and I don't want those. So I can either come up here and click on this arrow, or I could click on the letter V on my keyboard, and that gets me back to the arrow from the keyboard. So what I want to do is right now, all those sections within those red lines is transparent. And we know that right now because of, you see this crosshatch up here? That shows that it's transparent. I don't want it to be transparent. It's so much easier to select things, to recolor them if they already have paint in them. So that's why I'm going to put a color of paint in, and one that I won't be using in this figure. So I'll just get like a light pink. Actually, I don't like to use pink because that's like the line color. So I'm going to use the green or that bluish color. Okay. So once that's done, the next step, as you'll know, so just remember these steps in order. You trace it, and then you come up. After you've traced it, you come up here and change the color of the whole thing. After you've changed the color, then you come up to Object, oops, you got to select it, and then say Object, release the compound path. And again, what that's going to do for anybody who's new and you're just joining us for the SVG bootcamp, when you release the compound path, that's going to put a little square, it's going to put a little square around every little piece that makes her up, or it's going to select every little piece, I should say, that makes this, what's her name, Tiana, up. So I'm going to click on that, and you see that? That put little squares around each little piece that makes her up. And that is going to allow me to color her. Remember on the other one, I showed you I couldn't color her if my life depended on it. Now this one here, I can color her exactly how I'd like. So let's just start with her dress. I'm going to start with the bodice of it. And I noticed that the skirt part down here is the same color. So I'm just going to hold down my shift key and grab that as well. So I'll just start like that. And I'm going to come up here to the color swatch area, and I can get this eyedropper and click on the color that I'm trying to change it to. And there it is. Perfect. All right. Now I'll do the next one. I think I'll do her gloves, and it looks like the upper edge of the bodice and this pretty bow. They're all the same color. So I'll click on this glove, shift, the other glove, the bow. Now, all of the bow isn't selected, and that's because there are little pieces that make it up, and there are little dams, I guess I would call it, in between. Let me show you. See if I can show that. I'm going to get this and this. All right, let's scroll in for a sec, see if you can see what I mean. All right, so right here, you can see when I clicked on this piece right here, notice that the red line goes around like this and around like that, and it ends. There's no way for this paint to sneak out and into this part. If I click on this piece, I can make it a color, but that's the only thing that's going to change color because the paint's not going to sneak out. Let's hold down the shift though and click on some of these others. Oh, but look at this one. If I click right here, it's going to get all of this part of the bow, because when I click here, this is all connected through this little channel here, so the paint can go everywhere. So hold down my shift, and I'm just grabbing the rest of these. One last one that's by itself is this one right here. Oh, I might have them all. Maybe I didn't get that one. Uh-oh, I'm not sure. Let's come up here and check it out, see what we got. So the last color I used is right here. Click. Oh, I must have deselected that one, so let me get it. All right, let's scroll back out and see if we got everything. Yeah, looking good. Okay, this top part up here has got to be colored that same color. And it looks like I did her little necklace right here on the one I've already colored, the same color. Okay, well, let me know if y'all have any questions as I go along, and I'll try to answer them. Oh, look at this. Look at her finger over here. And looks like it's okay over there, but over here, notice, why did this happen? Why did that finger not get colored in yellow? Because it's a total shape all by itself, and there was no way for that paint, when I clicked here, to slip on into that finger. So I have to select that finger on its own, and then come up here and again change it like that. Okay, scroll back out. All right, now we'll do her skin tone, I guess. So I'm going to go here, and that pretty much grabs everything there. So come up here to the paint palette area, get the eyedropper, and click. And yep, open lines. That's right, there were open lines. Very good. Okay, I'm going to click this one. Now notice her whole face isn't going to be selected also. And check this out. So I wanted this to be selected as well. these two little pieces, because that's part of her skin. But they're not going to get colored right now because they are a closed shape that I have to select by themselves like that. So I think this is kind of fun. I don't know if you guys do, but to me, it's just kind of like, it's fun. It takes a while, but it's just kind of fun. So I'm going to do her face now. Let's see what happens with that. Okay, that worked out pretty well. And let's scroll back out so I can see my other gal. Where is she? Here she is. Might as well get the same lip color that she has. So I'm going to click on this lower lip, hold down my shift key, and get the other upper lip. And then I can also come over here. Remember that new tool we learned yesterday, the transfer properties. I can click there and get it. But I might not want to do that because that got the black line too. So I'm going to undo that. I'm just going to come up here, I think, and get this eyedropper and see what happens. Yeah, that's what I want right now. Okay, so let's see. What else do we need to do? We need to change these, the eye or the whites of her eyes white. Hold down the shift and get that. And I'll change that to white. Okay, let's see. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and change the outer edge of all this. Now, whoa, remember how I get the outermost edge? And if I can't, I can just drag this away like this. I'm going to make this black because this is going to be the piece onto which I'm going to build. So now I can make it black. Since I've colored so many pieces, I'm not going to have trouble seeing anymore. And now I can see how nice that's going to look. While that black is selected, whoopsie. While just the black, what am I doing? What's happening? Okay, while that black is selected, I'm just nudging it back into place with my arrow keys on my keyboard. Oops. Okay, so notice her hair. There's something odd about her hair. Now, I don't think I really need to put black on top of black to show her hair. So I'm going to see if I can just remove that piece right there. And then her hair back here shows up. And I think I can just get rid of all of these little pieces. I don't think they're going to make or break my image. Let's see, there might be a little dot right in there to get rid of. All right, so let's see. I guess looks like I got rid of that on my sample and that. Okay, the rest of the things I left there. So, and it looked like I changed them to the same kind of yellow green color as her necklace. Whoa. And the other things. Okay, so I'm just going to select this, hold down my shift key and get all of these pieces if I can. And I'll probably leave some and have to go back and get them. But we'll see how well I do right from the get-go. So I'll change those to that pale yellowy color. Hey, I did pretty good. Except for that one right there. Make that the yellow. Okay. So there's her little crown. And if I wanted to, actually, I could take away that piece if I didn't like it. But I'll just leave it there. All right. So now you might be wondering about, well, look at this. What about the parts on her face? Okay, right now, this is what her face looks like. And if I wanted that black right here, I would have to cut out a piece of black with a skinny little line like that, or little tiny pieces of black to make her nostrils or her inner ear. But instead, the best way to do that is this. So I'll just do one of these at a time so you can see to begin with. Click on the part you want to subtract out, hold down your shift key and select the part you want to subtract it out of. So, because right now, let me show you, if I move this, look, you can see why I want to subtract this out of that brown piece so the black behind shows through. Okay, so I'm going to click on this piece, hold down my shift key, get the brown, come over here to the modify panel, click on that to open it. And I think I'll just move it over because I'm going to be using it for a while and say subtract. So check this out. Look what it did. It cut that hole right out of there. So we're not going to have to get a little teeny squeeny line. I can't just move those pieces if you mean like I did up here. because the pieces up here, let's see, who asked that? Tina. The pieces up here were on top of the black, so I could move them. These pieces, if I move them out, they're on top of the brown, so it doesn't work the same. So that's why I have to subtract them. So I'll take one of these, hold down my shift key, get the thing I want to subtract it out of, come over to the modify panel that's a rectangle and a circle, and just say subtract. Perfect. See? Now looky there. Okay. All right. Now let's do a couple together now. Let's click on this one. Whoops, I missed it. Click on that bluish green. And I know I got that color because if I'm questioning, I could come up here to the upper left and it shows what color I have selected. Watch, I'll select the yellow. See, I have something yellow selected. I have something black selected. I did something green, but what I want to select is this blue. Did I get it? Yep. Hold down my shift key and I want to get a few more of these blue ones. And I think that's all I need to do, and hold, and then while my shift key is still held down, click on the brown, come over here to the modify panel, which is already open right here, say subtract. Perfect. Okay, now Tina, what you said about her hair up here, could I move the pieces out? I can do that here because these pieces are just on top of her black hair. So since I want the black to, whoopsie, to show, okay, I can move that. Then I can just do that. Again, for these collarbones here, I don't want to cut out little teeny weeny pieces. I want to click on that one. I got the right color, hold down the shift, click on this one, and still holding down my shift key, get her skin and subtract. Okay, I think she's just about done, other than I have a few pieces here in her gloves to do the same thing. Grab it, shift, glove, subtract. So that subtracted that little spot out of there. Okay. I'll move that with my arrows again. It's easier. Okay. And then these guys over here, grab both of these, holding down my shift. Whoops, I didn't get the second one. Then the glove and subtract. Okay. All right. The only last thing I could do if I want to is change her eye color to match this one. But maybe I'll just let her, I'm going to make her have blue eyes this time. I don't know. I guess that's not right, but I want her to have blue. So she's going to have some blue eyes. Here we go. Okay, I think it's just about done. So let me move this girl out of the way. Now, let's get rid of this junk I don't need. Okay, let's scroll out a bit. And I'm going to delete this one because I don't need it. Delete this one because I don't need it. Going to keep this girl because I'm going to show you how to fix her. And I'll delete this one. Now you might be looking at this saying, well, this one on the left looks better than this one. That's because of those red lines you're seeing. I can go ahead and turn those things off by just highlighting her and just coming up here. Notice they're red right now. I can just make them transparent, or if I wanted to, I could just make them black, but it won't matter one way or t'other. Since there's no line weight, they're not going to print or do anything like that. Okay, do you see that now? Maybe that's what you were asking about. So now they're just about the same darkness, right? It was those red lines that was like an optical illusion. So I'm going to delete this one now, and I'll show you how we would make her. She's awfully small, so I'd like to make her larger. And now what I can do, what I should do if she's going to be made out of, whoopsie, of vinyl is this, like we had shown yesterday. Okay, I can come up here to the paint, little artist paint palette thing here. It says select by color. And then it opens up. Let me get rid of the modify panel. It opens up like this where it says by line usually. You want to change it to say by fill. You're welcome, Mimi. Okay, so then the first thing that's going to select all as one piece is the black, but you know what? We know the black is just one solid piece, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay. The next one it's going to do is the greens. So it's selecting all of, oopsie, what did I do? Pop. Okay, the greens. Now I can just right click if I want to right here and say make it a compound path. So those are all going to stay together exactly how they need to be for vinyl, so we can put it on there. Okay, right now the way the yellowish green is, look, each one of these pieces is going to come apart, and every one of those would be a different layer in Cricut Design Space. But if you want them to, and oh, not only that, but look at the crown up here, the same, all those little pieces. So instead, just select that. It gets them all. You can right click and say make a compound path, or come up here to Object, make compound path. And now I can't take them apart. They're going to stay exactly how I need them to stay as an SVG. And let's see this, her skin tone, right click, make it a compound path. The pinks, there's two pieces for her lips, I guess, so we can make that a compound path. And the blue. Okay, looky here. I see a little piece I don't want to keep. See that little smidgen right there? That's dumb. What do I need that little piece for? I'm going to get rid of that just by hitting delete on my keyboard. After I double clicked, I got the nodes or the points. Then I just deleted them. All right, let's get this. Okay, this must be off somewhere else because that's not on here, nor is that there. So we want to right click on those and make it a compound path. And you remember, if you were here yesterday, I forgot to do the white. And you remember how many layers that made over in Cricut Design Space? Well, I'm going to remember the white today. Right click and make it a compound path. Okay. So let's scroll out and see what the heck was here. Oh, this right here, delete. That was part of what was showing up over here, I bet. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's probably on here. All right, so what I'm going to do though is I'm going to just go ahead and put all this stuff back over on here, just willy-nilly. And I could show you now to go to Silhouette, Cameo, or Portrait. You just go ahead and make it like that or send. You're going to go to cut, let me grab this, cut edge. And I'm going to do it by fill colors. So all of these things are checked. I would uncheck them all. And here's how I told you, I think I do it yesterday. How I told you how I do it yesterday is I move everything off the mat just to keep myself organized because I had a little bit of an issue with that sometimes. So I could start with the whatever color I drag over. Okay, black. I'll do the black. I'll check it because that's the one I'm going to cut. Notice it put that cut line around there. I would change this, and I could change these all ahead of time if I wanted to, but I could change them one by one into vinyl or heat transfer vinyl, whatever I'm using. Okay. And then change these as well. But hopefully you know how to do that. If you need me to show you a more detailed tutorial on that sometime, let me know. But when I was done with that, now I'd move it off, uncheck it, and grab something else. Okay, that would be this. I would cut that, change it. I'm not doing cardstock. Okay, if I'm doing HTV, there's no text on this, so I don't really have to mirror it. But if I were you, I would get in the habit of every single time you do something out of heat transfer vinyl or HTV that you mirror it. Because if you don't get in that habit right from the get-go, you're going to be sorry. So I'm putting everything back on this mat. I don't like to mirror it later. I like to do it right here. To mirror all this junk at once, I just grabbed it all. I'll say right click and flip horizontally. And then it's mirrored. And if there was text, it would be perfect for heat transfer vinyl. All right, so let's just see really quick, how do we take this over to Cricut Design Space? Because I know a lot of you use the Cricut Explorer, Air 2, Maker. All you do is this. Grab all this girl, right? I don't have her put together properly, but that's okay. And I'll go to File, and I hope this is going to work today. It was working earlier. I'm starting to think it's when I record. File, Save Selection, save it to my hard drive. That's working. Woo-hoo. And I'll say Tiana for Cricut. Okay. Now remember, if you have the business edition, you must have the business edition if you're trying to use this software for your Cricut machine. Just like you would have to have Adobe Illustrator if you were using this for your Cricut. This is just a lot cheaper. One time you pay for it, you don't pay 20 bucks a month for Illustrator. You pay 62, I think it is, for this once, and you own it. So anyway, we go to, I named it Tiana for Cricut, and I'm going to save it as an SVG. SVG, and say okay. All right, let's come over to Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to remember to share my screen. As soon as I make sure Design Space opens, oh gosh, it's downloading an update. Hang on. And now it's installing the update. Whoopsie. Hang on. Something's odd. Hold on one sec. It's saying the thing I'm trying to share is not valid. Huh. That's odd. It says you probably can't see this. It's not letting me share this. So let me go back to Silhouette for a second. Let me close Cricut and open it back up again and see if it will work. So let me open Cricut again. And hopefully it's going to share. Okay, it's working. Phew. All right, here's Cricut Design Space now. So we're going to go to New Project, and I'm going to upload. These are the ones we've done so far, remember? I'm going to upload an image, browse. Hopefully y'all are following me. I'm looking to see. It's like a 20-second delay. Yeah, there you are. Okay. So I'm going to browse. And of course, I didn't pay attention to where I saved that. Maybe I saved it in downloads. That. Yep, there it is. Tiana for Cricut. So I'll double click to open that up. And there she is. And I'll say save. Going to insert her by clicking on her and coming over to the right, say insert. And again, it's going to come in a jumbly mess. And if I wanted to, I could have put her back together properly over there in Silhouette before I saved her, but I didn't. But here she is over here. Look how few of layers there are. Now, if I had not converted each one of those to a compound path, remember what I showed you, each one of these parts of the bow would be a different one. Now, I can ungroup this by coming up here, obviously, and just say ungroup. And now I can move these pieces around. And again, I made a beautiful SVG. Perfect, just like this. So for Cricut, I can just say make it. And there's the little whites of her eyes. There's the black backing that we'll build her on, her skin tone, the bow, and her dress. So isn't that easy? It's so easy to make your own SVGs for any machine. Hey, even if you have a scan and cut, this will work there because I think you can use an SVG with scan and cut as well. So let's go back now to Silhouette and continue on to the next sample. Let's see, new share, this, that. Okay, so she's all done. Let's see, going to hit delete to get rid of her. Now this one here, on the other hand, is a little bit trickier. And we discussed her in the very beginning, and y'all noticed there's a problem right here. It's not a complete line. So we need to fix that. So let's check it out, because you're going to run into this a lot. Well, not a lot, depending on whether you look for good images. If you really, really look. One of the things I could do, actually, you guys, is this. I could fix her in a heartbeat. Just get the knife tool, say solid, straight, and auto apply, and watch what's going to happen. Draw that across there. Oops, wait a minute. I did that wrong, because she has a big box. I gotta, I have to trace her first, because look, she's got a box behind her. That's not going to work at all. I have to trace her first. Yeah, nodes, Carmen. Woohoo! But I'm going to show you how to do it without nodes first. So what I would do first, again, is trace, select the trace area, and trace her. And let's look and see. I'll just go right in there. Oh, that looks really good, doesn't it? Yeah, except for this thing down here. And there's some text down here to get rid of too. But we're just going to trace it, scroll back out, and move that off. I don't need that. Now, one of the first things I can do if I want to is to scroll in a lot and just get rid of these things right here. I think I can just go like this and draw. Well, no, I guess I can't. Well, I could. I thought I could just. Okay, well, it'll be easier to get rid of those in a little bit. So let's not worry about them yet. Here's the way as I said, here's a way I could do this really easily, y'all. If you don't want to mess with nodes and you have something simple like this, get the knife, make it say solid, straight, and auto apply. And when I draw a line across here, let me go back. That's not the right way to do it. Knife, outline. What is wrong? Wait, let me see. Go back one more time. Boop, boop. All right, the knife. Not sure exactly what I'm doing wrong. Solid. Okay, usually when I do that, it makes a line right across there. So that, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm doing something wrong. I'm having a senior moment here. Let's see, the knife. One more time. Nice, solid. I thought I wanted it solid. Solid, straight. I'm not going to auto apply it. I don't think that's going to make any difference. Does anybody notice what I'm doing wrong? Because I must be having a senior moment. Usually this will work really quickly and easily. Whoopsie, unclick, say that. And it's not doing what I expect it to do today. So forget that. I'll try to figure out for tomorrow what I'm doing wrong right there, because I'm just having a senior moment. Sorry about that. So we're going to go back to doing it the harder way. So let's see. The first thing we're going to do is just click on this and start getting rid of some of these nodes in here. No. I'm going to change this. I'm going to, maybe this is what I've done wrong. I'm going to put that color in there again that I'm not going to be using. Okay. Then I'm going to go to Object, Release the Compound Path. Okay, that's the craziness. See that, how it doesn't work down there? Let me try that knife tool one more time, because I'm not sure why it's not working. And it's still not working. Okay, so if somebody remembers why, let me know. But anyway, here's what we have to do to fix this part down here to close it up. So let's scroll way in. There's a hole right there. What I do, senior moments on a daily basis. Yeah, me too, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm going to double click on this to get the nodes. Sorry, Carmen, I got to get the nodes because my seniorness is not letting me tell you the easier way. Once I have the nodes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here when my hand turns into like a little box or a node or a point with a diagonal line through it. I'm going to click on that to highlight it. Once that's highlighted, I can right click and do this, or I can come over here because the point editing panel opened up. But I usually just right click right here and say break the path. And when I said break path, what that did was it broke this path right here into two separate pieces. Do you see that? This line is one path and this line is a path. I could separate that a little bit like that. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to take this point, highlight it, and I'm going to right click on it and say break the path. And again, I can separate these. Whoops, I don't want them to do that. Okay, that one, and then there should be there should be two separate ones. There we go. All right, once those paths are broken, just like that, this is when I can move them together. Now, we want a continuous path. Remember we learned that? If there's not a continuous path, you can't fill something in. Well, this path, if you can see my hand right here, it's starting up here, going down, and makes a pointy turn, a 90-degree turn almost, and going this way. And then it kind of backtracked on itself. But we wanted to continue on to this part over here. So that's pretty easy to do. If we double click on that, we get the red ones again. I can just drag this one over here. And as soon as it gets close to that one, it's going to jump and grab it. Look at that. And it actually colored in that spot just like that. However, we want to join the other two too, because this black part, if you'll recall, is going to be the black outline of her, the black backing. So I'm going to move that point in, just take the hold of this and move it in. When they get close, watch it, jump together. All right, but now let's scroll back out. This freaked me out for a while. I have to go ahead, click on this thing and say, release the compound path again. If you don't remember that, you're going to get freaked out. Tammy helped me with that a long time ago when I was getting freaked out. I'm like, I can't color it in. So we learned that what you have to do after that, when you get everything hooked back up, right click and release the compound path again. Okay. Now I can drag on. Since I've done that, since I've colored these in, release the compound path and colored that part in, I can now just draw a box around all this stuff down here that I don't want and say delete. And now I'm wondering if that little knife tool would have worked right now if I had already done this. Let me check and see if my knife tool, do you believe it? I'm going to go back for just a second, you guys. Let's check it out. Sorry. I just have to know. So I'm just hitting back. Well, I mean, Control Z to get back to where I was. Okay, there we go. Oh, stop. Okay, stop. Okay, so there we go. This is how she was, right? So what I did was I clicked on her. I came up here, made her that color. And then I said, object, release the compound path. And that did that. Now let's see if that was the trick, the secret sauce I was missing. Keep your fingers crossed. Knife tool, solid, straight, auto apply, go across. No, that's not the secret sauce. That didn't work. Wait. Knife tool, outline, straight. Okay. Dadgummit. I didn't come up with the secret sauce, you guys. Oh my gosh, I did this the other day. I'm going to drive myself crazy. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you again. This is how I can get rid of these. Just draw a box around it. And this will show you again quickly how to do this node action. So once again, I'm just going to go down here. There's the part, there's the culprit that needs to be together, right? So I'm going to click on this, double click on it to get the nodes. When I can, I'm going to right click on this and say, break the path. I want to break it apart. Then I have to make sure that I do this. When you're doing this part, be very careful that you don't cross these over like this and then try to make this one go to that one. Make sure you keep them in the line that they're in. If you know what I mean. Whoopsie, come here, you. Okay. So again, we're going to come to this one, double click to get the nodes or the points, right click on this one, break the path. And then, oops, if you lose your little red dot where you broke it, just double click again and there it is. So then you're going to pull this apart and I'm looking to see, yeah, that line is this one right here, the top one or the innermost one, and it needs to meet with this one. So I'm going to double click on this, bring this over, and bring this over. Okay, and those are not clicking yet. All right. Uh-oh, what did I do? Hitting Control Delete on my keyboard. I'm not sure what I just did. Scroll out. There. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys. Look, this is what I did. This is why it's not working, because I just jerked this whole thing apart when I was messing around. See that? All these pieces are broken now. So we're not going to be able to finish that. But you saw how I did it originally, right? I should have left well enough alone. You know, you can use this multiple undo button and go way back. I don't know where I would have to go to. See what that does? It just automatically goes way back. And if you went too far, of course, you can move up like this. But anyway, I think you get the idea. What I did was I should have. And the problem was, like I said, that I got all these openings here that should not have been there. So I can either start from the beginning with her again, or let's just continue on with something else. You guys let me know what you'd want to do. If you get the idea on this one, fine. If you want me to show you again where I don't get all these little individual pieces and just totally mess the thing up. Oh, you know how I got those, right? I forgot to undo. Hey, I know how I got those. Oh my gosh. How I got these was when I was doing the knife tool. Remember trying that? And I didn't undo it. So I was cutting across here. And that's why there's all those cuts. So you know what I could do right now? You guys watch this. Hey, y'all watch this. I'm going to delete that, and this, and this, deleting all these little pieces that I don't want. Okay, so I should be left with a pretty good image now. So now I can show you how to finish this right here. So I got rid of all that knife junk, and now I'm going to try to do it here. So I'm going to go ahead and right click and say break path. And that's going to allow me to have two little pieces. That piece, that's the inner one. Okay. So, and this one I believe is the outer one. Let's scroll in so we can see. Yep. Okay. So there's that side. Then we would need to go over on the other side, do the same thing, right click and break the path. And again, I'm going to have this piece, which is the inner piece, and this piece, which will be the outer piece. Scroll back in. And then I can just keep adding points if I want to make this work. So I'd have to keep adding, or I can actually go straight, whoopsie, across now. Move that one up. So I'm going to make this one meet there. And then this inner one will meet here. So you see what that did now? That pretty much did what I wanted, but I don't like this big fat line. So you can always add more points and like make it a skinnier line if you want to. Fix this jazz over here that I did. But remember now, I'm trying to color in. Let's look and see. I'm trying to color in this part. Okay. The whole outside of her, that's going to be black. I don't want that part down there to be black. If I have that selected and I make it black. I don't want that, or I do want that part black, but I want that part green down there. What did I forget to do? What I forgot to do was to grab everything again, or grab that again and say, object, release the compound path. And then there, now I can color that any color I want. Phew. Okay. Holy moly. Carmen, you're saying it's all good. You're like, I'm done with those nodes. No, not going to save that. Whoopsie. Okay, here's the LOL dolls. We have this, and I wanted to show you this really quick. This was from the store, Silhouette store, if you want to look for it. I have the link for it down below, but if you just want to look for that number, because it's really super cute, I think. You can jot this number down from the Silhouette store. Where is it? It's right here, 226236. But I thought it was really cute because I adjusted it. Oopsie, sorry. Here's the way it came in. Like that. And then I adjusted it so we could put our little mini that we made yesterday on it. Now, the thing is transparent, like there's nothing behind it here. But what I thought would be really cool, you guys, if we did like reflective vinyl behind that, wouldn't that be nice? And make this really big on the back of a kid's Halloween costume, or, and you don't even have to say enter if you dare, but you could, and they'd be reflective if anybody's even going out trick-or-treating. But I just thought it was a super cute thing. And I thought it was fun to use the mini that we had made yesterday in here and just changed up the text a bit, changed the bats around like that. So I thought that was fun. All right, let's see. So let's go back to the, what is this? Oh, that's that. That's the painted pumpkin. That's the Poppy. She's really, really easy. Show you her really quickly. Just go ahead. This one here is just for coloring, so I know what color to make her. Here's the one I'm going to make a certain color, and I think I'll just change her colors up a little bit. I'll trace her by coming to the trace panel. Trace it like this. Perfect trace, I think. I'm looking really close with my eyes. Ooh, I see one spot that might be bad. Look. Oh, no, it's closed totally. Look at that. It's closed. I thought there was a slot right there that was open, so it's perfect. So let's scroll back out. So I would just say trace, move this white thing. We don't need it. Again, make her a color that we won't use. Then do object, release the compound path, and then just start coloring her. Let's pretend like she has brown hair, just because, or purple hair. Whoops, purple hair. Okay. And let's make her skin tone something else. So I'm grabbing all these while I'm holding down my shift key, and I'll make her be like a light color. And her nose, will make her nose pink or red. Whoops, I didn't get her ear because it wasn't connected, so I'll get the same color. And so you can see how easy this one is. I'm holding down my shift key, getting all of her outfit. And I'll make that purple. What's the red to match her lips? And we'll make the flowers red, not being very colorful. And make this part maybe yellow. So I'm just clicking on everything while I'm holding down my shift key and coloring things in. There's some little pieces here that I need to fix of the plant or the flowers. And I could make those green if I wanted to, or red. So I'll just keep them red. Whoops. Okay, I'm seeing a piece I'll probably just delete. So I'll make that all red. See this little piece right here? I don't think that's going to make a big deal about my image, so I'm going to delete it. And her ear, I am going to click on that little piece, hold down my shift key, and I want it cut out of this grayish brown color. So I'm going to say over here, modify panel, subtract. Same thing. Hey, wait, maybe it was already. Nope. Oh, okay, that's subtracted. Oh, yeah. The reason why it looks weird is because the backing is that greenish color. Let me make it the back black now so you can see what's happening. There we go. So now I could just delete this, get rid of this one by clicking on it, hold down Shift, get the ear that I want it cut out of, and say subtract. Same thing with her eye. This, hold down Shift, her face, subtract. Eyebrow, this, Shift, face, subtract. Her mouth, let's see, did I get her mouth selected? Yes, I did. How do I know? Because I'm looking up here at this color and I can see I have that color selected. So I have her mouth, Shift, her face, subtract. The outer part of her nose. Oh, I didn't get that. Look what I have. I have her nose. So I need to try again. Outer part of her nose. There, I got it. Shift, face, subtract. All right, so I could now scroll in further, and I really made her some ugly colors. But anyway, you get the idea, I think. So let's forget, well, let me get rid of this, delete, and remind you again how we would handle this for an SVG. Let me just click on that, click on that. I think I'll just delete those now. Anyway, get the idea on how to do this. I would, be more careful, make that piece red, make that other little piece, subtract it out. Anyway, all right. But to make this an SVG, it is fun, isn't it, Carmen? I love it. Glow in the dark vinyl. That would be really cool, Deanna. Yeah. Okay. So what we would do to save this as an SVG, and I have some other pieces in these eyes right here that I would have to attend to and that I didn't do. So let's pretend like I did everything I should do. All right. So I'll just delete those. Let me do this. Get rid of that little piece too. Okay. So all I would do now is if I was going to use this for on an SVG again, and I'm going to do it in vinyl, let's say, I would go up here to this paint palette. Again, it opens up by line color, and I'm not selecting by line color. I want to select by fill color. So I must still have something hidden that color, and I don't know exactly where it is. Oh, it's right up here, this little teeny weeny piece. Delete. All right, let's see. The black, we know that's just one piece all by itself. We don't need to worry. This is all her skin tone. We do need to worry about that. So while it's all selected, we could say right click and make it a compound path, which makes it all stay together perfectly. For vinyl, wouldn't you want it to be like that? Heavens, yes. All right, let's see what else. The purple. Okay, right click, make it a compound path. And again, if I didn't do that and I took this over to Cricut Design Space, this is going to be 3 layers right here. 1, 2, 3. The red, I'll do the yellow first. The yellow would be 1, 2, 3 layers as well. Make it a compound path. That makes it so that the machine thinks it's really pretty much just one thing, one layer. The red, look how many pieces make up the red. Going to grab all of that, right click, and oopsie, let me grab it again. Grab it all, right click, make it a compound path. It's all staying together. Otherwise, it'll be a bazillion layers over in Cricut Design Space. So that's how you do that. And again, to save this for Cricut Design Space, assuming I finished all of this, okay, pretend like it's all done. I would just grab it all. Grab all the make a box around it all, and I could group it if I want to. And then I would go to File, Save Selection. The reason why I'm saving the selection is if I don't, and this gets saved in there as well, watch, I'm going to get an error over in Cricut Design Space saying there's something there that it doesn't recognize. So I'm just going to go File, Save As, Save to hard drive. I'm not saving the selection, and I'll name it Poppy Troll for Cricut with a goof for Cricut with a mistake because of that extra piece. Whoopsie. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, Poppy Troll for Cricut, and say SVG and say OK. And now check this out when we go to Cricut Design Space. And I'm going to take you there in just a sec. New place. Okay. Share. All right, here we are. I'll go to upload, upload an image. Remember when we did Tiana, there was no error message. But for this one, I'm thinking there's going to be an error message. Yep, look at that. Well, two things. It says the uploaded SVG contained the following items that are not supported. Pattern fills. Import anyway, continue. See that? See that extra little box right there? That was that thing that we had over there in Silhouette. So watch, if I go back to Silhouette and make you come with me. And this time I grab her, because this is going to happen to you. You're going to wonder, what in the world is that box? What's that junk? Okay, I'm just going to select her, the part I made into an SVG. I'm going to go to File, Save Selection, save that to my hard drive. And now I'm going to name it Poppy Patrol 4, whoopsie, 4 Cricut 2, number 2. This is the second one. And again, with this business edition, I can save it as an SVG. But you just check this out now. So if you see some black box coming in or some warning messages, you save something else in Silhouette before you brought it into Cricut. So let's go back to Cricut, and I'll have you come with. Okay, we're going to go to upload, upload an image, browse, and this time it's this one, the number 2. Should not have any error messages. Nope, look at that, perfect. Save. We'll insert her. So if you get an ugly black box or a warning message, chances are you saved something extra there that you should not have saved. Now remember, over there in Cricut or in Silhouette, I didn't finish making everything into a compound path. So that's why the greens are like this and the whites. But other than that, it's a compound path. So we could ungroup. And each of these is going to go separately onto mats. The only one that's going to be messy is the green and the white. So if we went to make it white, the black, that's right where it needs to be for our vinyl. And again, if this is HTV, I would mirror it. If it's just regular vinyl, you don't need to. So let's go back over to Cricut or Silhouette again. Okay, Silhouette. Okay. All right, so that's that for this little gal. Let's get rid of her now. Did anybody have any questions about that? Bye, ciao. Oh my gosh, you got to go back to being teacher. Oh my, totally lost since I don't know where the last pics came from. Finally found Tatiana, but we'll have to rewatch to find out how to do it. Okay. Yeah, you have to go to, okay, bye, Janet. Yeah, I know these things get lasting kind of a long time and it kind of get overwhelmed, but let me do one of the LOL dolls. I'm not going to say that. And is there one in particular, this one on the right or the one on the left? Say right or left. Which one do you want me to do? Right or left? Well, I take a sip of my coffee. Obviously, the one on the right isn't exactly the same, but I figured it was pretty close. Your outfit's different. You want right or left? Yay, Carmen can stay. Okay, I got 3 lefts and 1 right. Left. Uh-oh, 4 lefts. Okay. Oh, 5 lefts. Okay, we'll do the left. So let me get rid of this one for now so she doesn't bother us. Delete. All right, so here she is. And notice she comes in with a box around her. Look at the, look how nice her lines are. OMG, they're beautiful lines right there. Let's see if we can keep them like that. The LOL, just do a Google search for them. For the LOL, I think I put LOL coloring book images is what I put. Coloring book pages. Here's the thing though, look at this. What I want you to notice, why I said this is a perfect image is this. On most of the LOL dolls that you'll find, unless you look for coloring book pages, there's going to be an opening here in their eye. So I searched around to find a good one that was all closed here, so I didn't have to show you today how to fix her eye. Let's see. Let's see if I can show you that. I don't know. Let me see. So I'm going to go to the LOL doll coloring pages for a sec and have you follow me here. Let's see. All right, so here we are. I just typed in LOL doll coloring pages. And so I'm just going to start clicking on a few of these to show you some of them. Now, some of them, okay, that one, if you can see this one over here on the right, it looks pretty good. The first one, what am I doing? Oh, double clicking when I should. That one looks really good. Okay, so these, okay, that one's terrible. You see this one? Hopefully you can see her little eyes and how those lines aren't solid lines. That one's going to be a pain in your neck. Why use it when you can keep looking and you'll find a better one? This one's beautiful. Look at the eyes. Look at the lines. They're all continuous. That one looks pretty good. So that's what I would look for while I was doing these. Okay, this one's not a good one again. See this one, how there's the opening in the white of her eyes? That one would not be good. I mean, you could fix it, but if you can find one that's better, do it. This was not a good one. Look at the opening there. I think we did this one once in class and we were able to find a better one and didn't have to use that. And that one looks pretty good. So anyway, that's what you'll start looking for. Here's another bad one, I can tell. But I think there was a Miss Punk that was good. Here's the one that I did. Okay, that one, yeah, that one looks really good. I really think she's adorable, but when I tried her, look at the line right here, over here on the right-hand side. See that open line? And that was going to be too much of a pain to try to fix. So, all right, let's go back to silhouette. So that's why you want to look for a really good image to start with, because you might as well not waste so much time fixing things when you'll probably be able to find one that's good, like this one. So I brought her in. She's got the box behind her, as you can see. If I put a box behind the box and send this to the back, you'll see that? She's in a box. So we don't want that because we can't color anything. We really can't do anything to her until we trace her. And if we want her to be an SVG, oh, you need boy stuff. I know, I thought about that today, Tammy. Why don't you find me something boy to do tomorrow? Little girl stuff is just so cute. All right, so here she is. First thing I'm going to do, as always, we're going to trace her. So you guys tell me, what do? We come up here to the trace tool to open the trace panel. All y'all, you guys, tell me some boy stuff to do for tomorrow, or find me some images and send them to me. You can send them to me at PattyAnnesPlace.com if you'd like. Okay, so I'm going to select the trace area and trace it. Now I can tell that's going to trace really, really well because of the quality of the line. Look at that. It's gorgeous. So I'm just going to say trace. And now I can move this white thing off because we're done with it. And I can even actually just delete it. And now this girl right here, I just brought her in because she looked like she's exactly the same one. So just so I can get an idea of how they colored it. Although I don't have to color mine like that. I can color mine however I want. But let's come up here now. Remember, the first thing I did was I traced it. Then I come up here to the top so the whole thing is selected. Then I'm going to come over here to the checkerboard area and change it to a color I probably won't be using in that girl. And it seems like I always pick this greenish color because it doesn't bother me for some reason. Okay, but her eyes are kind of that color, but that's okay. All right. After that, do you remember the next step? The next step I'm going to do after I change the whole thing to that light color, I'm going to come up here to Object, Release the Compound Path. And that's going to put little boxes around everything so I can color it. Oh, nothing's happening. Do you know why? I don't have anything selected. I have to select something first and then go to Object and Release the Compound Path. Now I have all the little boxes again, and I can start coloring her. So I'll start first with her bow, click on that part, and click on that. And this little teeny line right there, come up here, get the eyedropper and click that. Now notice this part of the bow is colored in and mine is not. Why? Because that's one complete little shape there. There's no way for that ink to slip into there unless I actually click on that piece. Hold down the shift, get this one, and this one. And now I'm going to use that same pink. Perfect. Scroll back out. Isn't it easy, you guys, to make SVGs? You're not going to have to buy them anymore. Okay, grab this, and I guess I'll get all of her hair. So I'm going to hold down my shift, click this, and this one. I'm trying to go in the middle. I don't want to go on the red lines. Get this piece over here because that's hair, and there. And this is hair up here as well. All right. So now I'll just come here. I'll get the eyedropper and see what color. Okay, there we go. Whoa, look, I still have some more pink I didn't get. Right here, I got to click on it. Make it the bow color. And here's some more hair, right? There's a piece of hair. Hold down shift, there's a piece of hair. And color it. All right, next thing I have to do is this little bow right here, I guess. Hold down my shift key and grab all of these. And let's scroll in a little bit because there's some more right there and there that's part of that bow. And I'll just make it red for now until I scroll out. And I'll make it the color that this one is. Okay. And now our little dress, the bottom part, I'll get the color there. And the top part, let's see if I can get a color for that. Okay. And notice the little cuffs did not color in, and that's because there's no way for the paint to seep into there. So I got to click that one, hold down the shift and click this one. And you know, if you were doing this as a print and cut, you could put a pattern in here if you'd want to. If you don't want to print and cut this one, you could make your own, make your colors that you want her to be in case she matches a little kid that you have. If you're making like a cake topper or something like that. You could change your skin color depending on, you know, if you have a real fair skinned person or not. There we go. Looks like these will be brown just like her hair color. Okay. All right. So let's see. This is supposed to be white, as is this. Let's make both of those white. And her collar is supposed to be white. And let's see her lips. Let me get the little lower lip, hold down the shift, and the upper lip using the eyedropper again. Get that. And there's a lot of skin that I missed. So let me click on her ear. Boop. And this ear. And her arm, neck, leg, and change that to the same skin color that I used. Okay, at this point now is when I could, if I would like to, go ahead and add that black. Let's see what's going to happen. So I'm going to grab, whoopsie daisy, the whole thing, trying to grab the whole outermost thing. And I can do that, of course, by pulling it aside a little bit if I have to. And then I can change that, whoopsie, click on it to select it and change it to black. Then I can just move that and go right back into space with my, or place with my arrow key on my keyboard. All right, and what I'm going to do too is I'm going to get, no, not yet. I was going to get rid of the red lines, but I can't yet because I won't know how to color some of these things. So that part of her eye, hold down the shift and that part of her eye, come up here. And so I don't get confused, I'm going to make it a blue, darker blue. Looks like this is white and this is white and this is white. And so I'm going to make those white. All right. And parts of her shoe are white. And I'm almost done, you guys, so hold on. Almost. Okay, this should be pink and pink, 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 pink. And these bows are supposed to be white, so I'm just grabbing them. White. The soles of her shoes, kind of like there, are pink. All right, so now her eyes, this is the tricky part that we've been learning about. So with her eyes, what do we want to have done? We don't want to have to cut a circle out for her eye. What we want to do is cut out this face color so that the black behind shows through, and that'll be the black that we need. So I click on that eyeball. I know I have that color selected by looking up here on the upper left-hand corner, hold down my shift key and get her face, come over here to the modify panel and say subtract. Look at that, just like that, perfect. Again, get this one, hold down the shift, get her face, come to the modify panel and say subtract. Got to do the same thing with her lips. I have that color selected. I can tell by looking here. Shift, get her face, subtract. Same thing for these little things that make up her nose. Subtract. And looks like this should be right over here. Her hand should be flesh colored. And this is part of her dress, the lace. Let's see what else. I'm just going to get rid of that piece right there. I don't want it. I'm going to get rid of that piece right there. I don't want it. And now the only other, I can get rid of this right here too if I want to. Poop, delete. It's not going to make that much difference. Down here, I think what I'll, oh, this has to be pink. What I think I'll do down here is take this greenish piece. I'm going to try this, hold down my shift key, grab on the green. You can do this if you want to. You might not want to. If you don't want this cut right here, if I do what I'm going to do right now, it's going to cut in here. I'll show you. Got the green, hold down my shift key, get the black, and say subtract. So now what I've done, let me grab all of her, group her all together, and I'm going to get rid of those red lines so they don't bother us. Now let's bring her over here. See that? See what's happening now behind, right here in her, where her legs are? So if my machine was cutting, well, I guess that'd be great. I guess I would want it like that for vinyl. If it was print then cut, I wouldn't. But for vinyl, I would like it like that. And actually, I think if I was doing this, I'd probably make, I'd ungroup this. I'd probably make these things white because I don't like them pink. There we go. And I'll change her eye color back to green. That green. That's a bright green. Okay, so what do we do now? Now it's ready for to be used as an SVG. Let's get rid of this girl, because if we don't and we forget to save the selection, this thing's going to come in there and it's going to say, oh, Patty, and you did something screwy over there in Silhouette for your Cricut. So again, what we're going to do is this. Come over here, but I'm going to move her down, group all of it. I think I have everything chosen. Oh, there's a finger right there that's going to be messed up. Ungroup. Okay. So the last time, now what we're going to do is this. Going to, like, I guess, group it all together again. Come up here to this paint palette that says choose by color, select by color, go by fill. And the black, of course, we know that's just one black piece. Oh, I can ungroup it again because I can't move them. So the black, I can just move out of there. That's what we're going to build on. This piece, I shouldn't have any. I'm going to delete that. That's one I must have forgotten to get rid of. There's that piece. It looks like that's just one piece. Yep, so that's just one piece like that. This red or that color, it's several pieces of her bow. I would right click and say make a compound path. And again, if you're somebody that likes to use shortcuts on your keyboard, when I select this next one here, if I come up here to object, make it a compound path. Oopsie, it's just one thing. I can't make it a compound path. It is just one. So let's go back to the next thing. That was done. That. Okay, there we go. I could right click and make compound path, or I could come up here and say make a compound path, or notice the shortcut. I can just hit Control, and I guess that's Command on a Mac. Control E, and that'll do it automatically. So I'll do that. Control E. Bingo. It's made a compound path. The next color, Control E. I made that a compound path. The next one, let's see, do we do that? That. The hair. Again, I could right click and make a compound path. There's several ways to do all this stuff. The green, if I don't like to right click, I can come up here to object, make it a compound path. And there are other ways to do it as well, but we're good. I'm going to do Control E again for make a compound path. And there's some white on here somewhere. Where are they? Here. Whoa, there's a lot of white. Look at that. Check that out. I couldn't tell there was a white there. And you know why? Because I removed that red line, remember? If I click here, though, and make that a compound path, it'll all stay together. If I didn't do that, all of these little pieces would be separate over in Cricut Design Space. So Control E or right click and make it a compound path. Now, once again, like I said, if I wasn't such a slobone, I could put her all back together nicely and send her over to Cricut Design Space. Whoopsie, like this. Where does that go? There. There. And I could use, like I said, the little arrow keys on my keyboard to get this in shape better. Oh, this is her socks. Okay, I think that's all of it. So I would grab everything again and maybe just group it and then say File, Save Selection. Just get in the habit of doing that. Save that selection to your hard drive. LOL dolls for Cricut. For Cricut. And I could save it as an SVG. We're coming to the finish line now, you guys. Save it. Okay. Go over to Cricut and do a new share. Cancel this one. Go to New, Replace, Upload. Upload an image. Browse. What was it? LOL dolls for Cricut. Open. Shouldn't be any warnings. Perfect. Save. You remember, one of the ways you're going to see a warning is if you forget to save just the selection and you save a bunch of junk with it, unbeknownst to you. Okay, so here's all the layers that make her up. We could just go to Make It. And there's all the white that we need. There's the outline that we're going to build upon. Hair, skin, eyes. I think that's her dress. Socks. Top of her dress. And the bow. So that's how easy it is to make these for, again, I can ungroup her if I want to, for Cricut Design Space or Silhouette Cameo, Silhouette Portrait, Silhouette, or Scan and Cut. Make your own SVGs. Don't buy them anymore. You can save so much money by doing this. Get the software that you'll need, $62, one-time fee, and it's fun. All right, does anybody have any questions? Let me look really quickly because these seem to be all going about an hour and a half. It's a blank screen with my name? What? You're not seeing? What? Tammy just texted me and said you're seeing a blank screen with my name. Let's see, there's Silhouette. We'll go back to Silhouette for a second. And then here's Cricut again, new share. I'm not sure why it's a black screen, Tammy. Are you sure? Oh, well. I don't know. I don't know what's happening then. If it's a black screen, sorry about that, you guys. I don't know what's happening. So let me just stop this share. Well, let me start my video. Stop the share. There, oopsie. There we go. All right. So I don't know what happened. Tammy said, what? Tammy said it was a black screen, and now she says it's an old one. So I don't know what's happening. But anyway, that's it for today. If you have some suggestions of what you'd like me to show you tomorrow, especially if any of you have boy ideas, I don't know what to do, whether you'd like to do like Batman or something like that. Let me know. You know, like I said, you can email me at PattyAnnesPlace.com if you have a picture in mind that you'd like me to try. Basically, I'd like you to try to find a good image, practice that, send me the link for the good image. And I guess that's it. So I guess I'll see y'all tomorrow. Remember, please give me a thumbs up, you guys, if you like my videos, and share them and subscribe and hit the bell. I really appreciate it a lot. It keeps me going. I get a gold star. So see you guys again tomorrow, hopefully. Bye for now.